few hours. But there was a slower alternative called the U-2. Bavakwa is one of only 12 pilots to have flown both operationally.
I was very proud of being a U-2 pilot because of what we have done and what we're still doing. It's just a magnificent platform, does excellent reconnaissance.
Still widely used today, nearly 60 years after its introduction, pilot endurance limits U-2 flight time to 12 hours.
It's pretty demanding on their bodies. They have to wear a special high-altitude suit for it, and then it wipes them out for a good couple of days. It fatigues them quite a bit to go that high.
Manned spy planes are not only limited by human endurance, they also bring the risk of pilot loss. In 1960, Bavakwa's friend, Francis Gary Powers, was shot down while flying a U-2 over the Soviet Union.
It was a propaganda field day for the Russians.
Powers' cover story was that he was on a meteorological flight.
Frank Powers tried to say it was a weather flight, but there were miles of film. And so it was easy to discern what he was doing.
Khrushchev denounced the United States with every epithet in his vocabulary. He summarily rejected all attempts of the West at reconciliation.
Powers was imprisoned in Russia for more than 2 years, creating a major international incident and clearly demonstrating the need for unmanned spy planes.
It was a development from the pilotless aircraft principle. Guidance was by radio from an accompanying aircraft. After reaching altitude,
As early as World War II, once at altitude, airplanes could be controlled by radio signals after the pilot bailed out. But for decades afterwards, before GPS, drones were limited by primitive autopilots and navigation systems. In the 60s and 70s, drones crashed constantly, including the most advanced unmanned aerial vehicle, or UAV, the Aquila drone, that averaged a crash every 20 hours.
It was a small propeller drone that would fly over the battlefield and gather information and beam it back to you. The problem is, back in the 70s, the technology wasn't ready yet. It was $1 billion program by the time they got just a couple prototypes.
I was frustrated that the U.S. could not make UAVs really work.
Abe Carroll is the father of the Predator.
This is one of two small UAVs built in my garage between 1980 and 1983. I was borrowing $18,000 a year from family